Some corporations collapsed after the Fourth Corporate War, but some just changed the way they played the game. So who's still in charge? Welcome back to the dark future. In my last two videos, I covered the Fourth Corporate War and its brutal aftermath, and how the megacorps nearly destroyed the world, and what was left standing after the smoke cleared. If you missed those, go back and watch them first. They'll give you the full picture of how we got to this point. But today, we're zeroing in on power players of 2045. The megacorporations aren't gone, they've just adapted. Smaller, more vicious, and more personal, these neocorps still hold massive influence, running security, controlling trade, and pulling strings behind every major deal. In this video, we're going to break down who the big names are, what they want, and how they're shaping the time of the Red. And if you're enjoying these videos, consider checking out my Patreon. Thank you everyone for your support. Arasaka, headquartered in Tokyo, Japan. Arasaka is a global security and corporate police megacorporation, infamous for its powerful private military forces and shadowy corporate influence. Despite devastating losses during the Fourth Corporate War and being forced to withdraw to Japan, Arasaka remains a key player thanks to its deep ties with the Japanese government and its unmatched expertise in security operations. Post-war, Arasaka's focus has shifted to covertly providing security services. Their operatives now serve as guards, couriers, and mercenaries under the guise of working for other firms. Their troops are known as some of the best trained, most loyal operatives in the business, following their clients' orders, but ultimately loyal only to Arasaka. Beneath the surface, the corporation is divided into three rival factions, all competing for dominance: the Kiji faction, the Taka faction, and the Heito faction. Though outwardly diminished, Arasaka's ultimate goal is unchanged. It's reclaiming its former political and economic power through influence, infiltration, and patient strategy. Biotechnica, headquartered in La Jolla, California. Biotechnica is a genetic engineering, microbiological, and biochemical research corporation best known for creating CHOOH to the 2TM. I'll put it on the screen. A biofuel derived from genetically engineered yeast and wheat. During the late 1990s fuel crisis, this innovation allowed Biotechnica to rise from a small firm to a significant player by licensing production rights to larger agricorps and petrocorps. Though Biotechnica holds worldwide patents and considerable wealth, it never grew into a megacorp scale powerhouse. Instead, it carved out a niche as a vital supplier and research hub, especially in developing bioengineered species and restoring blighted ecosystems. In the time of the Red, Biotechnica is often viewed as one of the few good guy corps. Its labs contribute to rebuilding efforts, supporting the Pacific Confederation, and working to restore both animal and plant life across devastated environments. While smaller than corporate titans, Biotechnica's scientific influence and ecological role make it a key player in the New World Order. Then we have Continental Brands, and this is headquartered in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Continental Brands is a major food and beverage corporation, originally a subsidiary of Petrochem, and they're tasked with absorbing surplus crops of the wheat used to produce that special kind of fuel. When Petrochem's monopoly meant these surpluses piled up, Continental Brands was charged with turning them into consumer food products, leading to a relentless push for new ways to sell Americans more food and drink every year. The company culture became infamous, a toxic, backstabbing office environment where internal politics were cutthroat. By 2040, key leaders secretly consolidated power, cutting Petrochem out entirely. Over 3 years, they absorbed half of Petrochem's agribusiness operations, bringing fuel-adjacent products, research, and lobbying under their own control. Despite legal challenges, Continental Brands successfully broke away from Petrochem, transforming into a fully independent megacorp-level entity. Now they dominate the American food market, aggressively pushing both organic and synthetic products to consumers with the same ruthless efficiency. Then we have Danger Girl, and this is headquartered in Night City. Danger Girl is a private investigation and security firm. After the fall of Arasaka's American operations, one of the founders faced deportation due to her family's role in the Fourth Corporate War. Instead, she struck a deal with US President Elizabeth Crest to remain in America on one condition: help dismantle any remaining Arasaka influence on US soil. On the surface, Danger Girl is known for handling high-profile cases for celebrities and social elites, with the founder's bubbly persona making her a media darling. But beneath the public image, Danger Girl operates as a covert intelligence and counter-corporate enforcement unit dedicated to hunting down rogue Arasaka cells and sympathizers. While her clients fund the public-facing business, Danger Girl also receives covert support from the Crest administration, including access to government slush funds and Arasaka's old intelligence databases. The founder's personal bodyguard, a veteran solo and former Arasaka enforcer, ensures her security and helps navigate the more lethal side of her work. Don't let the cute little detective logo fool you. Danger Girl is a razor-sharp operation, balancing celebrity protection gigs with corporate takedowns and black ops, all while serving as the founder's personal crusade to redeem her family name. Militech, headquartered in Washington, D.C. Militech is a global arms manufacturer and mercenary army, once a megacorp superpower and a key combatant in the Fourth Corporate War. After the war, Militech was nationalized by the United States government, turning into a state-controlled defense contractor, though much of its leadership, including the fiery and personal CEO, remains in place. Despite heavy losses, Militech is still the largest producer and seller of military hardware worldwide, supplying everything from pistols to tanks to cutting-edge aircraft. The US is Militech's biggest customer, but the company will do business with anyone who can pay, making it the most military powerful corporation in the world, even if its economic dominance has faded. Militech's culture is deeply shaped by Lundy's personality, a mix of military pride, personal vendettas, and iron-willed ambition. His grudge against Arasaka fueled much of the Fourth Corporate War's escalation, turning corporate rivalry into a personal crusade. His second-in-command, General Samantha Lee Young, is equally fierce, ensuring Militech's leadership remains aggressive and hard-nosed. Even under government oversight, Militech continues to act with the swagger and influence of an independent power, using its vast mercenary forces and stockpiles of high-tech weaponry to maintain its position as the top global military-industrial complex. Network 54, headquartered in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Network 54 is a nationwide media and broadcasting corporation, effectively monopolizing its frequency slot as Channel 54 across the United States. While the post-war era has severely limited corporate reach into broadcast markets, Network 54 has adapted, maintaining dominance by offering a mix of news, syndicated series, movies, and local independent programming. Though branded as a news network, each regional office tailors its content slightly to its local audience, while national and world news segments remain consistent across the board. With the media landscape fractured, Network 54's bi-hourly news shows and strong local presence keep it relevant as a key player in shaping public perception. Under CEO Michelle Dreyer, widow of the original founder, the corporation's core operations are headquartered at 50 Pines Ranch near Santa Fe, New Mexico. From this base, Network 54 continues to influence public opinion, making it a subtle but highly effective tool of information control in the time of the Red. Petrochem, headquartered in Dallas, Free State of Texas. Petrochem is the world's largest producer of a synthetic fuel made from genetically engineered wheat. Though technically not a direct combatant in the Fourth Corporate War, Petrochem capitalized on the chaos by selling off fuel reserves, triggering price surges and massive profits, earning the conflict the nickname the AV Gas War. Despite this windfall, Petrochem faced its own challenges, mobilizing heavily to defend its sprawling oil fields and far-flung assets from opportunistic attacks, especially from rival Sov Oil. Their private security forces turned large swaths of the American Midwest into some of the most heavily patrolled and paradoxically peaceful areas of the war. Post-war, Petrochem has emerged as one of the few surviving multinational fuel giants. It controls vast tracts of farmland, making it an agribusiness powerhouse. With fossil fuels dwindling, Petrochem also uses its oil supply for plastics and synthetics production, adding to its overall influence. Tensions remain with former partner Biotechnica, whose bioengineering expertise is vital in that fuel production. But with Petrochem's aggressive tactics and a corporate army at its disposal, it's only a matter of time before CEO Agnes Youngblood makes his move to absorb the smaller biotech firm outright. Rockland Augmetics, headquartered in Austin, Free State of Texas. Rockland Augmetics is a leading American cybernetics and structural enhancements company, originally founded as Rockland Prosthetics in 2004. Initially known for supplying basic artificial limbs to the Veterans Administration, Rockland struggled to compete with larger cybercorps in the high-end cyberware market. In 2030, the company underwent a radical transformation under the leadership of the daughter of the original founder, Andrew Rockland. The company launched a bold new line of enhancements emphasizing aesthetics, edgy designs, and cyberpunk visuals. This reinvention, focusing on form as much as function, captured public attention and revitalized Rockland. Rockland's signature cybersuits, like those designed for influencers, became icons of post-human avant-garde style, while their more conventional cyber limbs still found success in the domestic market. The company's rapid expansion into new US and Free State cities has made it a major player in the cyber limb and skeletal enhancement systems. Today, the company thrives its populist appeal and rebellious branding, providing stylish and reliable augmentations for a new generation of edgerunners. Sov Oil, headquartered in Moscow, Russia. Sov Oil is a powerhouse in petrochemicals and agribusiness, controlling some of the world's largest remaining oil reserves. Originally a Soviet state-run oil industry, Sov Oil evolved into an oligarch-run megacorp with unmatched access to critical resources. Despite knowing their oil won't last forever, Sov Oil still wields enormous influence thanks to its wealth, infrastructure, and industrial control. In the mid-2010s, Sov Oil clashed with Petrochem over territorial disputes in the South China Sea, leading to a brief but fierce conflict. Though Petrochem pivoted towards its wheat fuel, Sov Oil focused on expanding into untapped Siberian oil fields. The rivalry between these two giants remains unresolved, with a future final showdown inevitable. Looking ahead, Sov Oil's survival strategy is diversification. Beyond oil, they are investing heavily in mining, shipbuilding, wheat agriculture, and even branching into aircraft, computers, synthetics, and power systems. The goal is very clear. By 2050, Sov Oil plans to have a diverse enough portfolio to survive the decline of oil and challenge their petrochem rivals once again. Despite the aftermath of the Fourth Corporate War, Sov Oil remains a dominant force in Eastern European and the Neo-Soviet Union, with deep plans for the future. Trauma Team, headquartered in Seattle, Washington. Trauma Team is one of the largest private medical firms in the world, providing emergency, ambulance, and paramedic services to over 15 million clients. Known for their heavily armed vehicles and rapid response teams, Trauma Team specializes in extracting wounded clients from combat zones and hostile environments. During the Fourth Corporate War, their services were in constant demand, but with resources stretched thin, Trauma Team had to declare neutrality, refusing calls from Arasaka or Militech to avoid being dragged into direct corporate conflicts. They prioritized civilian extractions, but charged a premium for responding to any active combat area, which didn't stop their teams from being overwhelmed with calls after every major skirmish. The war took a toll on Trauma Team's supplies and personnel, with scarce parts for their AV fleet, limited medical supplies, and an influx of desperate patients. Resourceful edgerunners often pooled funds together to cover Trauma Team's high response fees, ensuring injured allies got patched up. Post-war, Trauma Team's look has changed too. Their traditional crisp blue and yellow uniforms have been replaced with military-grade armor rigs, heavier combat kits, and self-contained medical pods. Though still a symbol of competence, Trauma Team now embodies a more hardened battlefield image, efficient, armed, and impatient. Ziggurat, headquartered in Night City. Ziggurat is the backbone of modern communications and data infrastructure in the time of the Red. Founded in 2030 in Night City, the company revitalized the old data term network, launching CityNet, a low-cost, citywide communication grid designed to restore reliable connections across shattered urban areas. Building on its success, Ziggurat expanded city nets and data pools to most major cities in North America, the Pacific Confederation, and free states, enabling everything from text to video communications through repurposed phone lines, free space optics, and nomad courier networks. Direct long-distance contact still relies on pricier services like WorldSat, but for local networks, Ziggurat became essential. Monetizing their infrastructure, Ziggurat released a suite of apps like Ask Alex Anything or Zpost and the Ziggurat Editing Suite, all funneled through their Garden platform. Garden allows users to create and share content in customizable patches. These are spaces where text, audio, video, and braindance content can be posted, monetized, and interacted with by others. This ecosystem has become the starting point for most modern pop media stars. Though expanding into London and Melbourne, Ziggurat faces stiff and often violent resistance from entrenched competitors in Europe and Australia. Still in North America, they remain the dominant force in localized data communication. Zyrafa Technical, headquartered in Vladivostok, Russia. Zyrafa Technical Manufacturing specializes in drones, autonomous robotics, and construction mecha, rising from post-war Russia's collapsing fossil fuel economy. Initially mocked for poor quality exports, Zyrafa's fortunes changed in 2039 with the release of the Graph 3, a durable low-cost construction robot perfect for post-war cleanup. This found instant success in local governments and small communities. Zyrafa's rapid expansion across Russia raised suspicions of backing from the criminal syndicate and allied Russian nomads, though nothing was ever proven. Regardless, Zyrafa filled a crucial niche with affordable, reliable tech when bigger corps had either collapsed or priced themselves out of reach. After their breakthrough, Zyrafa developed the Savannah line, a series of aerial and terrestrial combat drones designed for security and law enforcement. By 2045, their Savannah Eagle and Savannah Panther drones are used worldwide, securing Zyrafa's place as a key player in modern robotics and mercenary tech. From modest roots, Zyrafa has become a powerhouse of practical, combat-ready automation, offering rugged tech at a price point few can match. And there you have it, the biggest corporate power players in the world of Cyberpunk Red. Some are old giants clawing their way back, others are upstarts who saw an opening and took it. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to subscribe so that you don't miss what's coming next. I'll be diving into Night City in 2045 and why it's still the most dangerous, exciting place to run the shadows. Thank you for watching. Bye!